going to go ahead and finish the last piece of the lab, which is orbit number 5. And I'm going to modify the directions just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to imagine that I have my 2 foci. And I'm going to put that in the center of my orbital line. And let's pretend that the 2 foci are sitting one on top of the other. Okay? Like stacking them on top of each other. So there's actually 1 foci or 2 foci with 0 distance between it. I'm going to take the string like I did before, and I'm going to put it around that foci pin in the center. I'm going to take another colored pencil and I'm going to construct the orbit of this one. And as I construct the orbit, I'm going to lift my pencil if I go off the paper, which I did. And you can see as I go around, that this orbit, it has a much more circular shape. And in fact, if I was to measure the distance, which I'll go ahead and do, from that pin center, which is right here, if I measure from that center here all the way out to the outer edge, which is here, the distance is, let's just estimate, is like 10.8. Well, I can do the same on this side. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to turn my ruler over so the 0 is always in the center. And I'm going to bring it all the way out to the outer edge of that orbit. I'm going to adjust that just a little bit so I'm right at the center, and you will see it is 10.8. So the radius of this particular orbit from the pin, we'll just imagine from the pin to this side is 10.8 to this side of the orbit, and it's 10.8 to the other side of the orbit. So you would add those together and that becomes the length of the major axis. Okay, so I'm going to have you calculate the length of the major axis, all right, where the radius is 10.8. So it's 10.8 this way, 10.8 this way. You calculate the length of the entire axis. And again, when I put a single pin down, the distance between the foci is actually 0. Okay, so take that data, and that is the data for orbit number 5.